SMT Poke-in Lighting Connector, Tyco Electronics. Welcome to this training module on Tyco Electronics SMT Poke-in Lighting Connector. This training module introduces the SMT Poke-in Lighting Connectors and the requirements of applications using the SMT Poke-in Connectors. Tyco Electronics has introduced a Poke-in connector for the LED lighting market. The new Poke-in connector is a low-profile, surface-mount, two-position connector ideally suited for use in printed circuit board-based LED strings, lighting controls, and other applications that can benefit from an easy poke-in wire termination to the printed circuit board. The device is available in tape-and-reel packages for high-speed SMT processing equipment, and the high-temperature plastic housing is reflow solder process compatible. The Tyco Electronics Poke-in connector offers quick and reliable wire termination as a low-labor alternative to hand soldering wires, particularly when used with single-ended aluminum-clad circuit boards. The Poke-in LED connectors are available in tape-and-reel packages for high-speed SMT processing equipment, and the high-temperature plastic housing is reflow solder process compatible. The ROS-compliant connector incorporates tin-over-nickel plated copper alloy contacts with a UL 94-V0 rated high-temperature thermoplastic housing. Although optimized for use with 18 American wire gauge 6 through 16 strand wire, the Poke-in LED connectors also accept 18 through 22 American wire gauge solid wire as well as 18 through 20 American wire gauge pre-bond stranded wire. The connector is UL and CUL recognized for 4 amps at 250 volts DC and 4 amps at 250 volts AC. Mechanical wire retention is rated for 5 pounds minimum. Here lists the electrical and mechanical specifications. This two-position, low-profile SMT wire poke-in connector is designed for LED lighting applications. They are suitable for LED lighting controls, general illumination LED fixtures, outdoor LED street and walkway lighting, architectural cove and valance lighting, and digital signage. Poke-in connector comes in tape-and-reel packaging for high-speed SMT processes. The low-profile housing with flat top surface allows for vacuum pick-and-place application. The housing is made of UL 94V-0 rated thermoplastic. The contacts are made of phosphorus bronze underplated with nickel and plated overall with tin. The connectors can accept 18, 20, and 22 American wire gauge solid copper wire, 18 and 20 American wire gauge pre-bond copper wire, and 18 American wire gauge stranded copper wire. If stranded wire is used, it must be 16 strands. If pre-bond wire is used, the strand count must be 16 strands or less. The wire strip length is 7 millimeters for the poke-in cavity with an insulation diameter of less than 2.1 millimeters. When preparing stranded wire, it is recommended not to twist the strands after stripping the insulation. The stranded wire will insert best if the strands are straight or slightly twisted as the wire is manufactured. The receptacles must be terminated according to the instructions packaged with the tooling. All wires must be pushed firmly inside the contact wire openings. The wires must be fully inserted so that the wire insulation is inserted into and surrounded by the end of the housing. The required wire termination depth is achieved when the wire with insulation stripped to 7 plus or minus 1 millimeter has bottomed in the connector housing. If needed, the wire can be removed from the connector by first cutting the wire at approximately 50.8 millimeters from the connector and then rotating the wire to cause the wire to thread out of the connector. It is recommended that a means be provided to support the wire bundle extending away from the connector to prevent inadvertent application of high force to the wire bundle from transmitting into the wire connector interface. When the wire connector interface is expected to be exposed to a force greater than 22 newtons, an external strain relief is recommended. An external strain relief is also recommended for 18 American wire gauge 16-stranded wire. The suggested strain relief method is to use a cable tie and anchor.